In certain parts of the planet, there are forests that, despite their commonplace appearance, are in reality truly astonishing. Charming landscapes colored with autumnal leaves, they seem to catch the light of the setting sun. And while that would be nothing out of the ordinary in some places, these forests are found in the south of Africa. And though it may look like a European autumn, it is in fact the middle of a cold and dry summer. These humble southern forests grow far from the deep jungles of the equator or the grassy plains where millions of zebra and wildebeest graze. Their presence here in this part of the African continent seems puzzling, out of place even. But it is here that the most remarkable fauna in Africa lives in a unique relationship with this unexpected forest. The southern African bushveld nestles in the southeastern corner of Botswana, northern South Africa and southern Zimbabwe. It is part of the vast savanna that covers much of Africa, occupying 54% of the southern part of the continent. The southern African bushveld is a classic savanna. A wide variety of vegetation, from pastures to trees with narrow, small and large leaves that subtly changes with the terrain. It may not be a dense, impenetrable jungle, but the bushveld is still an immense maze of trees and bushes, a refuge for large numbers of animals, many of them in critical danger of extinction, such as the black rhino. This scrubland is their last hiding place, their only remaining sanctuary. This vegetation is also their sustenance, as they feed on the low branches, leaves and undergrowth. With their impressive horned snout, they delicately search out succulent morsels that have withstood the cold, arid southern summer. Mother and offspring must be able to resist the drastic changes in temperature throughout the year, from 3 degrees below zero to 40 degrees Celsius. During the summer, some nights may see their territory freeze, so the young rhino, at no more than 2 years old, but weighing half a ton, continues to suckle from his mother to get through the dry, cold summer. Despite its unassuming appearance, the bushveld is home to numerous of the region's giants. Buffalo, zebra and wildebeest roam the territory discreetly, coming and going among the scattered tree cover. And nervous groups of kudu and impala cautiously hide in the undergrowth. Being able to hide or flee into the brush gives them a sense of security. But they are not always safe. Wild dogs patrol the bushveld, preparing an ambush. Like the black rhino, this unique species is also critically endangered. The web of life connects all beings living in this extraordinary ecosystem, which includes a multitude of birds, insects and mammals. And this complex relationship often converges around the large mammals, like these buffalo. Thousands of flies, ticks and other parasites make their home in their fur and even in their ears and noses. Which in turn attract red-billed oxpeckers that feed on the tiny parasites. Sometimes they even make the most of the opportunity to drink a little blood. At the other end of the scale, the mighty African elephant is an essential component of this environment. Nowhere in the world is the relationship between landscape and its inhabitants more evident. Thanks to their incredible strength and huge appetite, elephants are responsible for reshaping large areas of their home. It is a relationship of both love and destruction that remodels this landscape on a daily basis. An adult elephant needs to consume more than 200 kilos of vegetable matter a day. That includes leaves, twigs, and even roots. Their favorite food is the trees of this woodland, and a few sharp thorns are no obstacle. With their 4 huge molars, they can crush everything they collect with their trunks and tusks. It might seem that elephants are wasteful and inefficient consumers. A high percentage of what they eat passes through them undigested, and they seem to destroy more than they need in order to survive. But what might look like waste is in fact just the contrary. It is a diverse and plentiful source of nutrition essential for other animals. Southern yellow-billed hornbills and other birds avidly search through the abundant elephant dung for insects and seeds. And the hornbill has access to other sources of nutritious snacks. The white rhinoceros, another of the giants that live in this tangled woodland. Unlike its cousin, the black rhino, the white rhino is a grazer that spends much of its time in small meadows. Its long, straight, thick lip is adapted for pulling up the grass that grows between the trees. The white rhino's massive bodies provide an excellent meal for oxpeckers, who cling to and amble around their mobile restaurant, thanks to their specially adapted feet. Their long, thin claws may assure them an excellent grip on the back of their walking dinner table, but in other circumstances, they complicate life somewhat. When walking on the ground or having a sand bath, these oxpeckers quite literally are prone to trip over their own feet. The white rhino leads a peaceful life, usually. Large males spray urine and leave droppings to mark their territory. Although males will normally tolerate each other, tensions rise when a female is in heat. Competition for her attention causes the mood to change. And 2.5 tons moving at 50 kilometers an hour can do some serious damage. The joust rarely causes individuals to be badly hurt, but serious enough injuries can result in the death of a suitor. Tragedy is a part of daily life on the African plains, yet another aspect of the superb drama of this magnificent landscape. The bushveld changes markedly according to terrain and climate. The Limpopo and Olifants rivers flow through vast tracts of woodland, bringing refreshing water during the southern summer. And when the bushveld dehydrates, the foliage of trees bordering nearby rivers provides both shelter and food for many animals. These carefree grivets, also known as African green or Savannah monkeys, are at play. Safe in the knowledge that someone is always on guard. These old world primates thrive in this unusual woodland habitat. While the surrounding territory dries up, fig trees provide them with delicious and nutritious fruit. The banquet is shared amicably with a variety of birds, such as barbets, turacos, and guinea fowl, happy to collect the fruit that falls on the forest floor. But you should never let your guard down. An African fish eagle, a very real danger, hunts overhead. Grivets have at least 3 distinct alarm calls. They can warn of danger from the skies, such as this eagle or a hawk, and they also have special calls to indicate the presence of both leopards and snakes. The savannah has a wide cast of predators, each with a special role to play. Hyenas, for example, are at the peak of the food pyramid, above even the lions and leopards. The wounds he received in combat have finally caused the death of this male rhino. The hyenas and vultures each take their share of the body. Spotted hyenas are the bushveld's most effective scavengers, but also its greatest hunters. In spite of their reputation, they do in fact hunt 80% of their food, often pursuing sick or injured animals, such as this rhino. Their bite is the most powerful of all the carnivores, allowing them to demolish even the largest of bones. In addition, their teeth are extremely hard, so in just a couple of days, the pack of hyenas, together with the vultures, will have stripped bare the giant rhinoceros's body, and the woodland landscape will be left clean and pristine. The southern African bushveld is located on a wide, undulating plateau in the interior of the continent, scattered with outcrops of granite, quartzite, and sandstone. These rock formations are home to the small and elusive klipspringer antelope. They're also a favorite haunt of the leopard. Here, spread below the rocks, the brush still has its autumnal mantle, but the flora is different. Mopane trees dominate the landscape. Mopane is a unique species that only grows in this limited region of Africa. Unlike the other trees in this ecosystem, the Mopane has curiously broad leaves, divided in two like a pair of wings. Mopane comes from the local language and means butterfly. And elephants are this tree's biggest fans. They ingest huge amounts of its leaves and fruit, which, since it belongs to the family of legumes, like peas and beans, are rich in protein. Its wood is so hard that not even termites can attack it. Elephants have another use for these trees, however. Knocking them down and ripping up the roots and trunks, they can clean their teeth with the tough wood. An elephant's life depends on good dental hygiene. This is because their teeth, after being worn down, only regrow a few times. Eventually, they cannot chew their food and may starve. The Mopane is incredibly adaptable. In regions where elephants eat it, trees may not exceed 2 or 3 meters in height. But in more remote and well-watered areas, they can form dense woods growing to more than 20 meters high. The elephant's apparent destruction of the Mopane in fact means that the splintered broken wood and leaves become available to termites as building material. Termite mounds are a striking part of this landscape, rising several meters above the ground and numbering in their thousands. And during the breeding season, when termites emerge from their constructions, many animals enjoy an abundant meal. Hornbills, glossy starlings, guinea fowl, and even dwarf mongooses take advantage of the unwise but unavoidable emergence of the termites. In the Savannah ecosystem, the grass is as important as the Mopane and other trees. It is not as abundant as in the open plains, but it is vital for the large herbivores, such as these Cape buffalo, the only ones here that gather in large herds. Giraffes graze between the Mopane and other bushveld trees. Their long tongues let them pick off the most appetizing shoots, but they must act quickly before the leaves start to fall. As the leaves change color, the fruit ripens as summer advances. It is now that tree squirrels harvest the Mopane's bean-shaped and oil-rich fruit. Thanks to the Mopane, these squirrels can find all their vital needs within just a few square meters of woodland, including defense against their predators. Safe from danger, a flock of mousebirds. The savannah is one of their favorite environments, and they often collect fruit, shoots and leaves from the bushes and shrubs. They huddle together to groom and enjoy a bit of physical contact. Forming tight groups like this also helps keep them warm. At sunset in the southern summers, temperatures can drop to no more than 5 or 6 degrees Celsius. With the mousebirds already huddled up for the night, guinea fowls slowly gather beneath the trees. They have spent all day scratching around the ground for seeds, but at night they roost in the branches above. Sunset in the butterfly forest, and some of its giant inhabitants are still eating. The rhythm of life never ceases in these extraordinary woodlands of southern Africa.